Now, sometimes someone will ask you things like, hey, when are you having children? Or actually, we've said this many times on the show, and I'm sure you've heard it being echoed in different platforms on social media. You have, before you have the first child, when are you having children? Oh my God, you would look so beautiful. Your children would look so nice. You have the first one. Haya, atacheza na nani? You have the second one. Unachua wakiwa wawili wanaweza kuwa very selfish. You have the third one. By the end of the day, unaanza kuambiwa balance. You have 2 boys. You should have 2 girls too. Keep trying. Next thing, you're trying for 7 children in. Now you're a football team. These are the silly questions and the silly intrusions and invasions of your privacy that people feel so comfortable doing and invading. So, the honest one, just say it like it is. Be honest. I don't want children right now. I'm still working on a few things. My career is still, my priority right now. And let it go. As swiftly as that, I'm not ready yet. The end.
Yeah. I thought I had gotten away with it. I thought I would never have to answer this question ever again because I've already given you 1 child.
Grandchild.
Until I start getting another question. Wapili yako wapi? Unajua ni vizuri upate kengine saizi uwale pamoja, umalize pamoja. 1 cohort. Na kwani ni course? As in, what's happening? What do you mean I raise 1 cohort at a time? It didn't make sense to me. And especially when, my mom brings it up. She's like, you won't give me another grandchild. I'm like, am I your only child? Use humor to just deflect some of these things because sometimes it doesn't come from a bad place. So sometimes it's just relatives being relatives. It's just your parents being your parents, They want to know what's happening. Should we expect another grandchild? Should we expect something else? So it doesn't necessarily have to come from a bad place. So just use humor to deflect and say, Madam, am I your only offspring? Am I your only child? Do you not have other children behind me that can give you grandchildren? Why is the pressure on me? Just diffuse the whole thing with humor. What do you mean when are we having children? Are we cannibals? Are we having them for breakfast? Are we eating them for lunch? What's happening? Yeah.
I think this one would work better with the practical. So ask me the question.
When are you having children?
Yesterday I was watching the news and then the president alisema anapatiana 50 billion to governors. Did you see that?
No.
You didn't? Because me, I was like, governors anapatiwa 50 billion.
Wow.
Ati kwa central bank inafanya nini?
Wow.
What kind of money? Saizi ningekuwa nayo, ningekuwa nimehama, nimeishi France. Niko na house everywhere. Europe, I am just a global citizen.
That is passive-aggressive shutting down. Deflection.
You're just like,
what do you mean?
We move.
We move.
We move.
Anyway.
Deflect and keep it moving.
And another thing is just to keep it ambiguous as possible. I'm not a believer of this spiritual things, but we've seen people talk about the evil eye. Sometimes you just want to keep your life as private. You want to keep the things that are close and dear to you as close to you as possible. Sometimes people are even pregnant and they deny all these rumors because you don't want all that attention and all that energy directed towards you. So just keep it ambiguous. We have a good example, May's Vault. I don't know if you follow her on social. Is it Mai or May? She's this Arabian chick who got married to this.
The black
exactly
guy.
And a few months ago, Max.
Trinidadian.
No, she's not.
No, he's the husband.
Yes, yes. So a few months ago, a few people who were on her socials talking about, hey, are you pregnant? Congratulations, blah, 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 blah. And she just posted a video in the gym saying, I'm so sorry, my followers, I will work harder so that you can stop these comments. She deflected it very quickly and then announced that they were expecting months later because you just want to keep things close to you. And even if you're not expecting a child, sometimes just keep it ambiguous and say, we're just letting life unfold. Whatever happens will happen.
Yeah.
If God will bless us with a child, well and good. If he does not, well and good. The price of unga will not change. Just keep it vague and just keep it moving. And
in addition to keeping it vague, you can also decide to draw a boundary by actually making it a private matter. Simply in the same way that Maisie did it, she could have also just said, we are choosing to keep this information private. We're not discussing it openly. So kindly allow for us to deal with this privately and talk about this privately and figure it out privately. Just like that, it will shut off a lot of people. Of course, a lot more people will have curiosity. It is the moment you tell people that we are keeping it private that they assume the answer was yes. Like, we are keeping it private is equal to yes, I am pregnant and we're about to give birth. So try and keep it as private as possible if you can, by simply telling people, I'm not openly having this conversation right now, so kindly give me grace until I figure it out.
And also sometimes it's important to educate people and put them in their place, you know, as simple as that auntie who's just hounding you every day, mtoto wako wapi? Unajua unamaliza fertility years, mtoto wako wapi? Si uzae saizi. Just say, listen, you do understand that the people who find these topics sensitive, you know, anything around family planning, you do not know what is going on in our life. I would appreciate it if you educated yourself and not just put me in such a position, you know. Now I'm over here wondering if I tell my whole family that I'm going through IVF, or if I have to tell everybody that I'm not planning on having a child or having another child. So just tell them, please educate yourself and understand that people are sensitive when it comes to such issues, and I would appreciate it if you did not bring it up anymore.
And sometimes the best way to deflect is also just making it very emotional and sharing this particular emotional approach, which by the end of the day can be as simple as saying things like, it's a decision we're approaching with a lot of sensitivity considering all the factors. Simply saying that will throw someone off because they're not too sure whether or not it's an issue you're going through, whether or not it's a, you know, what the circumstances, what these factors are. So it can lead to someone actually breaking away from the conversation altogether and leaving you the hell alone.
And also as simple as just silencing them. Wambie, get somebody else to do it. You want a grandchild so bad, have one, you know, have one yourself. Source it, you know, go get another. Sometimes you have to just deal with rudeness, you know, you have to counter it. The way their madness is coming, you counter their madness, because why will you be the mature person all the time?
True, true, true.
Sometimes meet them at their level. Tell them, you know, the adoption agencies you can go to. If you're craving a grandchild, if you're craving a child to hold, please, there are so many sources of children. Go look for them. It's as simple as that.
And as our friend Joe Boy will always say, we heal when we heal, or we heal after life. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let you heal because it's a lot. Today we have there's been a lot of energy coming from this end to your end. But we're going into the weekend. I think it's the cold. The cold weather just
It disturbs
it disturbs my symbiosis, my USA.
Wow, symbiosis. Okay, science.
Anyway, we shall see you next week, same time, same place. My name is Kathomi. Bye.
And my name is Turife. Have a lovely weekend.